What's up, guys? Tommy from Movie Titans here, and we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly today. So make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly for all of Batman films. Let's do it. The first movie we're going to be talking about for the good is Batman Adam West. This movie's cheesy, it's fun to watch, it's got Batman shark repellent, the riddles are... Don't even get me started on that. But even though it should be a really awful movie, it's got a lot of charm. It's a classic, and it's 1960s. You can tell you can just look at it and you know it's 1960s. The Tumblr is awesome. It's a great movie to make fun of. Just watch it with your friends. You'll have a great time. The next movie we're going to be talking about for the good is Batman 1989, starring Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton does a good job as always. I don't know any movie he's bad in, but he looks like Jaden Smith compared to Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson does an amazing job. He's eccentric, he's crazy, he's funny, he's awesome. Do you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? That's an instant classic quote. It's such a fun movie. He's got the long gun. There's decent action in there, but it's such a good performance, and it's such a good Batman film. Check it out. Then next we're going to be talking about is The Dark Knight. This is the first movie that I ever purchased. Actually, the first Blu-ray I ever purchased. I'm just making this real quick. But you got to have this man on the case. Heath Ledger. He's the entire reason why this movie is maybe the greatest movie I've ever seen. It's a great Batman film without him, because it's got good action. Christian Bale's great in it, and I mean, I think they did a really good job with it besides Joker, but Joker just elevates it. He elevates it to the point to where he's on the cover. Batman's not even on the cover, and you can't even say anything about it. He's licking his lips, he's doing the, do you want to see a magic trick? He's doing all that. It's a great movie. I like how they did Two-Face as well. But yeah, it's a great Batman film. Check it out. This is my first Blu-ray I ever purchased. Now we're going to get into the bad films. The films that are kind of bad, but they at least have some redeemable qualities. First, we're going to start out with Batman Forever. Batman Forever, I hate Jim Carrey as Riddler. It's basically just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey out there. There's nothing else to say about it. I think Riddler should be more of, like, this psychotic mastermind type person, but that's besides the movie. Two-Face is basically the Joker in it, and they Joker Two-Face and it's awful, and it makes me want to gouge my eyes out. Val Kilmer's good as Batman. I like Robin because he's not whining like he is in the stink pile that we're going to talk about later. You know what I'm talking about. It's got Mr. Freeze, and let's just not mention it, so we have to talk about it at least as much as possible. But Val Kilmer's good in it. It has some decent action, but Two-Face and Riddler make it a bad film. Next we're going to be talking about for the bad is The Dark Knight Rises. This is maybe the most least faithful Batman film I can think of. I don't read comics much, but I know Bane was horribly done costume-wise. He doesn't have Venom. He doesn't have the luchador mask. Bane, I mean, they did get him where he's smart and can talk at least. But I don't care about Talia, so the twist was not like, oh, she was such a good person. No, I don't care. It's really stupid, to be honest. I hate that twist. And it's not really a twist, because, I mean, I didn't see it coming, but it was just like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. But Batman can't get all the way half across the world after having his spine broken into place, and you don't put your spine back into place by doing that. It's very logic-ridden. If you turn off your brain, you're going to have a good time. Just, Christian Bale does his best darn performance to raise it up as much as possible. Turn off your brain for this, you may enjoy it. Now we're on our last Batman film, The Ugly One. It is a very, very ugly stepsister of all these. You know what I'm talking about. Let's kick some ice. Batman and Robin. You got Mr. Freeze, you got Poison Ivy. They're overacting their butts off. I really wanted to curse there, but I'm going to try not to. But they're overacting. Bane is just grunting. Batman is horrible. George Clooney is just standing there in a Batman suit. He's not Batman. Robin's whiny. He's like, oh, the chicks dig the car. Why can't I get a car? I want a Robin signal up in the air. Like, shut up, dude. Nobody cares. The action's awful in it. It looks... If you take it as a comedy, you may enjoy it. But it's kind of a so bad it's good movie. But it's still a terrible movie nonetheless. The puns are awful. Mr. Freeze and all that, that's awful. It's logic ridden. There's no logic to be found. Even if you used a logic detector, you couldn't find any. But it's Batman and Robin. Make sure to leave a like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Now, I'm going to hit it over to our good friend, and he's going to be on the first podcast. It may already be up. I'm not sure. Tanner Wood, he's doing his honorable mention for the Batman film, something he really appreciates or something he really likes or dislikes about the Batman films. We're going to do this every week on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So, stay tuned for that. He'll tell you what it is, and then the episode's over. Peace.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm is one of those very rare, perfect comic book movies. This movie came out in 1993 and was written by the guys that worked on Batman the Animated Series, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. And until The Dark Knight, I would say that this was the best Batman movie. And still, to this day, no one has gotten the Batman character more right than this movie did. Not to mention how original the story was, and it was the first movie where we got to dive into Batman's origin and see how he became the person that he is today. Kevin Conroy was the perfect voice for Batman and is still the voice I hear in my head every time I read a Batman comic. Same thing goes for Mark Hamill's Joker. They were just absolutely perfect. The movie is also very grounded and more realistic and crime-driven, between Andrea Beaumont and Bruce Wayne's love story, her father's connections with the mob, the Phantasm killing off members of the mob, and Joker's backstory as a mobster. It was very grounded and long Halloween-esque. And Shirley Walker's score is also amazing, fits the tone so well. And this movie feels like Batman, and in my opinion is the best representation we've gotten of Batman still to this day. It is a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. One of my favorite animated movies of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time is Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. Check it out if you haven't. One of those rare 10 out of 10 movies I love.